Welcome back to the Meteora DLMM Live series. So if you're new here, we started this wallet with just 5 Solana over the last few episodes, and we've taken it from 5 to 15 Solana, 15 to 18, 18 to 22, and now 22 to around 26.5 Solana. So this one's a bit of a slower grind compared to some of the earlier episodes, which had that massive big jump. But honestly, that's what real trading on Meteora looks like. Not every week's going to be massive jumps. You know, there's a few losses in here as well, which slowed our progress a bit. Still kept every position under 5 Solana, really only having one position open at a time. So this is really something that anyone can do and learn. And we use a combination of some spot and some bid-ask strategies on a range of new tokens to get these gains. Okay, so it's Sunday the 8th of February, and as you remember last time we combined the two wallets together, so we just have our total gains added up, you know, from that 3 Solana start, or 3 to 5. And we did have, actually, I posted where I had a green day, and I did one trade, lost it all, sadly, but only very, very small amount. The same the next day, I was in profit, decent amount, and I just overstayed my welcome. And that brings us on to today, where we're up a tiny bit, not too focused on trading, but I have these two positions open. I'm actually going to go ahead and close them both right now. This was a spot position minus 65. I wanted to be, you know, pretty safe just in case of a dump. I'm not too actively trading today. So we got some profit there. And also this other coin, Cariana. These are just coins I put on my watch list for today. They have the high volume on the Meteora homepage, which is obviously a great place to find new coins. We've got that one rug, we've got liquid. And if we go on the short term on the trending on the new tokens, you know, I saw these, did some cross-referencing, decided they could be good. And here we had the bid ask open. I did actually open it using my Telegram bot, which that's why you can see it made an empty position. Sometimes it does do that, but very small amount. We're going to go ahead and close that as well and swap those tokens back to Solana. But we did the bid ask on that one because I had already done a quick position in it earlier, made some profit. It's actually pumping right now, so maybe I'll go with something different, see what the narrative is. But I just wanted to be safe, right? I wanted to be safe for if we did go down to that kind of minus 60%, and we still came out with a little bit of profit as well. Now, this is quite an interesting coin, and this actually popped up on my Telegram, and I actually used this feature because I was out on a walk, believe it or not, and we were just in a decent amount of profit. I'm not sure what we're in right now. It says 4.7, so I would actually close out on that. If we look at the chart midway through the curve, I'm gonna close the position and just swap on Jupiter. So it looks like we've actually had a almost full recovery, but I did actually hit a spot trade as well. I think I bought down here and up here, and I bought like full Solana that was actually trading as well, and then opened the DLMM right here on my DLMM wallet, as you saw. But again, as I said, I used that entry method, and what we did for this is the top trending pool was actually this 0.25% fee. So a lot of movements within the pool, a lot of micro transactions, and the aim is, while we're ranging, very tight range, we're hoping there's enough movements here that even when we're near the bottom, we have enough fees that it can offset the impermanent loss. So as the token falls, it falls at 10%. You know, I lose in the value of my position about 5% as the average buy is halfway. And then we're hoping the fees can be a greater value than that. But as you saw, I did get to the very bottom of my range. We just had a bit of a pump up and I've exited. This is quite a obviously volatile and risky coin. We've seen it trending for a lot of days. Okay, so now we're in a new coin, Bad Bunny. I think I might have mentioned it. I was actually streaming and showing it. I'm in this position. I was about to zap out actually. You can see on my position, you can see the fees. I already claimed some fees as well. This token's very volatile, but it's been trending downwards as you can see, but it's had these massive green candles. Great for a bid ask. I did not want to go narrow on this. I know some people were, but it felt very risky to me. Trying to keep up with what the profit is looking like. As you can see, I took those losses. I was actually streaming, doing something else, and kind of lost concentration on the BFS coin, just trying to play the volatility. I knew it was trending down. We made some profit on it, but eventually came out with those losses. And now we're looking at, again, the Bad Bunny token. I am actually going to go ahead and zap out of this one. I don't want to get wrecked on another dip. Hopefully that closed with a decent profit, 0.33. Oh no, it just closed. I think it was actually a bit higher. But again, of course, this token could run higher. I'll probably open a new position, but I just don't want the risk of hoping it goes back up, as I'm not too researched on exactly what it is. It just had really good volume, and with the fees even trending down, it allowed us to offset that impermanent loss, which I always go on about. So I think we ended off before just finishing another trade, and now I am back in some more while creating the app. So first of all, Bad Bunny, it went back in with another lower bid ask. You know, we showed the volume before and it's still high and it just absolutely rocketed up. But I had a very conservative bid ask going all the way down here. But that's just because I like being really, really safe. But even still, you can see we still got 0.2 in fees. And the other one, which looks like it's dropped, I probably wanted to get out just on that green candle, is Kid Rock, which is kind of part of the same meta. I did see this flag to me, and I did go over a different curve, but I found the pull from my dashboard, and that's got some fees as well. And overall, they are giving us around 0.35 profit, which is pretty good just for what I've committed to them, putting our daily profit a bit higher. And then I think I might try and end off for the day. I'm going to close both of those out, actually, as I said, for safety. Don't want to be losing any more. And then the same on this token. Actually, I feel a lot safer leaving this one. So I'll go over and swap the fees and potentially end out for the day here. So I lied and actually went back in, but I'm actually going to zap out, or I'm going to close, and I'll swap the tokens manually right now on this Kid Rock pool. But as you saw, I was actually the only liquidity provider at this kind of level. So, same story. I found it through, luckily I saw the pool like just pop up on here with someone doing it. But what happened was I did not want to do the same strategy, and I did two particular pools, as you saw earlier. Did the quick spot. Importantly, I closed out for that kind of 10% profit before, or a bit less. And then I reopened kind of this range right here and got a good print up there, and also right here. And because I was the only one, even on that red candle, I actually got swaps upwards as well, which allowed me to make some Solana fees as well. And even though we exited midway in the spot position, we still came out with, I believe, over a 10% profit on that, which, is very, very good. So I just entered into a trade on this Elephant coin. I actually entered via Telegram because I wasn't at my computer, but I just got it booted up. And this coin is actually trending down right now, but it had good volume. Potentially, I exited a bit late. I probably should have already exited, but it's up there on the dashboard, a few wallets in it. You can see they've already got out of it. But it did print good fees for the tiny range it's been at the top, and I should still be in profit even if I closed out now with the volatility it's had, which is really good. I think I'll hold off though, check in with what some others are doing. It looks like, yeah, on this green candle, to be honest, we could do. And again, we've gone with a spot position. I found this token, as I know a few people asked. Literally, it just got alerted to me. It's mentioned in the Meteora LPM Discord. I can see a few of the profitable wallet on my dashboard went into it. That's another signal to me. I saw the varying positions they did. Went in with one. I will choose to exit by my own accord and strategy. And went with spot because, it's still early, still got some good volume, as you can see, around 50K. And it's still very early in its life cycle. It's only hit its recent all-time high. Later on, we'll decide if we do something else. And just like that, we have now closed out the position. The coin is actually, looks like it's doing a bit of a recovery, but I've closed that out and swapped back to Solana. So now the decision is, I think at this point, is whether, do I go back with a spot position? Do I leave the token altogether? We only made a tiny profit. It could keep trending up. Obviously, we don't know what the token will do. Or do I go with a bid ask? Obviously, the bundles and insiders are a bit glitched on Axiom right now. I do like taking a glance at that. But what I'm thinking is another spot position, narrow. Do we do a bid ask potentially minus 50%, or do we do a really wide bid ask covering like minus 80%? And if we do break the all-time high, we get more volume. That's when I will reassess, maybe go with another spot position or something. But what I think I'll do is I'll try and make a bid ask. If nothing comes of it, I don't get in range at all. I don't make any more profit on this coin. Probably won't record about it again, but I will go ahead and make that position. Okay, now looking at the rest of my portfolio right now, this is just after. You can see I made this tiny position in this Delusion coin, And to be honest, not much came of it. But you have seen me in a few of the trades in the episodes on these really low market cap coins making positions. And that's because they're just so volatile down here. That's a whole 50% range. And it moved up and down there a lot. Still having almost 5-10k volume. And of course it's risky. That's why you're making the long bid ask. But even while it's ranging there, you can make some fees. And the only reason I really entered was because I saw some people take big losses on it who I was kind of looking at on that dump. Because it is bundled, it's definitely not a safe or traditional coin. But I've done it on a few coins now. Even in the previous 2 trades did this. And it, it is a potential opportunity. I do see kind of, arriving sometimes. That's like 0.4. That's almost a, 10% profit on that position. And then going to the elephant, it does look like it could potentially go down a bit, which is, what I'm kind of hoping for if I move over to it. But again, we can't really tell at this stage. Okay, this is probably going to be the last trade of the episode. We did actually make a tiny bit more profit on that elephant coin. I actually used my own zap out as well. But it's this Kurt coin. It just popped up, new coin. I got no alpha about it. I've had a brief look at the stats, but I saw a few other people in it first of all. That's, what brought it on my radar to help me decide, myself to go in. And we're going to actually close out now. If I withdraw, I won't zap out. I'll just close it. And you can see my profit right there. And it was a spot position. So I'm going to head over to Jupiter and swap this out. But what kind of brought this on my, radar was, seeing some others. But we went with spot. That's what a few other people were doing as well. And, it's kind of early. We had the red candles. That we were obviously in a bit of a loss right at the bottom there. But it wasn't too far down our curve. Then we had that green candle, which put us back into profit. And I tried to exit right there.